Hello everyone, friends. Today we will be participating in the Yupp project's airdrop together. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our Telegram groups for more videos like this. Now let's get into the details. When you look at the project, it's another one where you can farm points by chatting with artificial intelligence and so on. But unlike other projects, here you can either save the points you collect for a future airdrop, or you have the option to cash them out directly. In other words, you can withdraw them directly as cryptocurrency. If I remember correctly, it allows you to withdraw in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. I'll be talking about how all this works and so on step by step in just a moment. When you look at it, the project currently has just over 11,000 followers on Twitter, so it wouldn't be wrong to say it's a project that's still new and progressing on this path. And just recently, they held a funding round that included Coinbase, and they managed to secure a total investment of $33 million. It's only been a few days, actually. Right now, the airdrop process is still ongoing. They've only just started it anyway. First, we need to log in here with our Google account. After logging in with our Google account, we can interact with more than 500 AIs within the project. But it doesn't make us deal with them one by one here. What do? It already provides a tutorial here. It directly explains to you how the system works. You enter a prompt here, and after you write that prompt, normally, for example, when you go to ChatGPT and ask something, what happens? ChatGPT itself gives you an answer, right? Here you ask questions just like you would to ChatGPT, and at the end of the day, 500 different AIs respond to you simultaneously. And the project shows you two of them, the most logical ones. You can say that you choose between those two. For example, just to illustrate, I had prepared a prompt like this before the video. After clicking send here, as I said, more than 500 AIs evaluated here. And right now, for example, ChatGPT Furo has come up and Gemini 2 has appeared. Here, it uses all the paid, that is pro versions of ChatGPT, Gemini, and all the others. It offers these to you free of charge. So I can say that it's possible to use the paid version of ChatGPT for free through the YAP tool. As you can see here, it gave answers on our left. Here we need to choose one of the two. Let's choose ChatGPT. This time it asks us why we made that choice. For example, we can say on target. In other words, we can say it gave a focused answer, responded quickly, and we provide feedback. Our main goal here is to provide feedback, and through the feedback we give, in other words, through these responses, we earn Yupp credits here. For example, right now we've earned 5,000 credits. I think they give this amount to everyone who joins. Because, for instance, I had created an account just for testing. They gave 5,000 credits to that account as well. So it's basically like a trial. After that, when you log in here, it asks you which country you're from and your age range. You select these. By clicking get started, you begin from that point on. There's nothing else you need to do. In other words, there's nothing extra you need to fill out. You don't have to deal with KYC, MIC, or anything like that. Similarly, you don't need to connect a wallet either. Now, all you need to do is ask as many questions as you can from here. For example, it automatically generated the question here. I came here and asked the question. I think it was a math question. I submitted the question, and ChatGPT, as well as a different one, Microsoft Azure's AI assistant, answered it. Here, for example, right now, ChatGPT, together with DeepSeek, why did I say DeepSeek? It checked together with Deep Research. It did something basically, and at the end of the day, it gave me the answer. Similarly, Azure here, so to speak, practically rewrote the Epic of Gilgamesh for me from scratch. So, for example, here I choose this one. After choosing, I scroll down and it asks why I chose this and why I didn't choose the other one. For example, my reason for choosing is that it gave a quick targeted response, and let's say it also provided a functional and correct answer. After that, why didn't we choose this one? Well, it gave a slow response. I'm not exactly sure about this part, but let's select it anyway. After that, we say give feedback again, and it gives us our score once more. I can say that the more detailed and comprehensive the feedback you provide here, the more points you get. You can also write something there if you want, by the way. For example, let's ask one more question from here. In this way, you'll actually be chatting as if you're talking to an AI, and at the end of the day, you'll try to collect as many points as possible. Right now, OpenAI is gonna make us choose between ChatGPT and DeepSeek. DeepSeek is currently deep in thought. It's really taking a long time to think about this question. I'll just select ChatGPT directly from here. That is, if it lets me choose, I'll say answer quickly. This one is also going to answer very slowly. As I said, if you write something here, for example, let's type ChatGPT is faster than DeepSeek. Of course, writing better and more elegant sentences would be preferable. After that, as you can see, it gave a slightly higher score. That's how the logic works. So what are these points for? You can see these points here. When you go to the profile section, by the way, there's a dark mode. Let's turn it on right away so we don't go blind. Although we've already been like this until now, but anyway. So when you go to the profile section here, as you can see, there's a section called cash out. When you click here, it says that you can directly convert your Yupp credits to dollars. There is a certain conversion rate here. It says so that 1,000 credits equals $1. And here, in order to access the withdrawal process, they require you to have at least 6,000 credits. So, for example, if you keep asking questions here right now, we have 5,300 credits. By continuing to give feedback on the questions here, in other words, by providing feedback question by question, we keep earning points this way. And once we reach 6,000, it allows us to withdraw. But, however, there's something else to note. As far as I can see right now, it allows you to withdraw in USDC, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. And for now, it only lets you withdraw directly on the Base network and via Coinbase. So if you want, you can withdraw to any exchange or any wallet on the Base network, or you can withdraw directly to your Coinbase account via Coinbase. But right now, both withdrawal options have been suspended, at least as of the time I'm recording this video. Therefore, at the moment, I cannot show you exactly how to do the shooting process. But still, let's reach 6,000 points here, and then I'll show you the rest. For example, how many points do we have right now? We've reached 5,700. Let's keep asking a little more. Actually, let's not drag this out too long. I'll just go ahead and finish the points and come back. By the way, you can also have it draw pictures and such. Once you explore it a bit, I can say it works like the typical AI tools. For example, right now we've reached 6,000 credits. When we click on cash out, the cash out screen opens here. You can withdraw in crypto as Ethereum, USDC, and Bitcoin. Apart from that, it also allows you to withdraw in some local currencies. But since we don't use crypto, I'll explain it through these options. For example, when you select USDC and choose Coinbase or Base, you should normally be able to withdraw by entering your wallet address or email here. But as you can see, it says temporarily unavailable. For example, if you select Ethereum here right now, it says you can withdraw to Coinbase as well, but I need a minimum of 100. It also doesn't let you enter 100 here. For instance, when you type in 100, as you can see, it automatically pulls it back to 10. As I said, you may think that shooting is closed right now, since the system has only been up and running for a few days. I hope they'll fix this quickly. So when you look at it, can it really be that profitable? For example, can we sit down for a few hours one day and make $100 or $200 in cash? It seems a bit difficult at the initial stage, because after a certain point, the limit for creating things, what's it called, giving points, decreases. For example, every time you complete a task, you spend 100 points to generate an image and 50 points for a regular question. That's why they give you 5,000 points at the very beginning. They give you those points so that you can spend them. After that, for example, right now we took one from, we selected one. For instance, we spent 100 points to generate this image, and let's quickly answer this here. And when we scratched it, we earned 260 points, but actually we had only spent 100. So it's like we earned a net gain of 160 points from here. After a certain point, it changes. For example, sometimes you spend 100 and only earn 90, or you might spend 100 and earn 105. So after a while, the amount you get can decrease a bit. But sometimes when it gives you 160 for each one like this, I can say that's actually pretty good. I mean, if you consider that 1,000 of them is equivalent to $1, then 160 is about 16 cents. That's the amount we earn here in just a few seconds, of course. And honestly, it's pretty nice. Of course, that's if we can actually withdraw it as cash. Otherwise, if you don't withdraw it as cash and just keep it later on within the project, you can withdraw it as something else. If they have their own token or do an airdrop, then you can use it at that time. But of course, it's way too early for an airdrop right now. Bismillah, they've only just started anyway. Let me show you, for example, right now we have 6,200 of these. So we have an extra 1,200 credits, let me put it that way. And right now, when we go into Coinbase, as you can see, even when I click max, it still caps it at 1,000. So it has nothing to do with me having a low credit balance. It just won't let me enter 1,100. It doesn't allow me to enter any amount over 1,000. Let me see if we can enter like 500 or something. We can write. But there it says again, we only process amounts of at least 1,000. And as I said, even when you enter 1,000, it doesn't go through. So right now, we actually have to wait for withdrawals to open. If withdrawals become available, I'll record another video and keep you updated. So we can slowly wrap up the video now. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, you can reach me through the comments or via the Telegram chat channels. I wish you all a good day and lots of profits.